It's tough putting Common on that list because he broke my homegirl heart.
Who?
Tiffany. Tiffany Haddish is my best friend.
Yeah, but I mean, Common had a lot of girlfriends. I'm sure a lot of people think he broke their heart. I know you don't know them like you know Tiffany.
I know a couple of them, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he broke her heart, man.
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was like, oh, okay. Because that's not what you told me, but okay.
Child. Y'all need to get up in this mess. Because Common done overplayed his hand when it comes to Tiffany. Baby, he chased her, got her, dumped her, and quickly moved on to the next, like she was nothing, and she is still so done over the way Common treated her. Tiffany is completely done with him. He's going on talk shows saying he's a changed man, hanging around Jennifer Hudson, acting like he's God's gift to women, and she just has horrible things to say about him.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer.
Ever since they confirmed their relationship last year, Jennifer Hudson and Common have been giving us nothing but realness, at least as far as the eye can see. He showed up to her talk show with a bouquet of flowers, and they've been seen out and about together, looking all loved up and whatnot. The serial dater even said that if he was ever going to get married and leave the streets, then J. Hud would be just the person he'd be willing to spend the rest of his life with. In his own words, she's got to have an EGOT, which is exactly what Jennifer Hudson has. An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
You've been even out there talking about marriage, Karen. What's that about? I mean, I just happened to notice that.
I was asked about marriage.
Yes.
And I just answered honestly. I said, you know what? You told me a quote that your mother said, a man knows what he wants. And I was saying my true feelings about, listen, Jennifer is the person, if I should be married, it will be to Jennifer Kate Hudson. I was just being honest.
He's been showering her with gifts and attention, and the things that he's been saying about her baby, that man is in love. But for Tiffany, this is the same way he treated her, and the games Common is playing with Jennifer Hudson ain't going to end well. He might be the type of person who never really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like, a bee going from flower to flower to flower. Tiffany is still very much heartbroken about the way her relationship with Common ended and how quickly public perception of him has changed since he got with Jennifer. It's like everyone and their mama is rooting for the couple and waiting for Common to pop the question, all while forgetting the way he moved when he was with Tiffany and the other women before her. Common has a way of getting with whoever is hot at the time, and Tiffany's career was still popping when they met in 2018. He first met her at an Oscars event when he was hosting, and then later decided to shoot his shot.
Tiffany shut me down on live TV.
I'm just saying you gotta work for it, but that's all. You can't just hide it.
You quickly, I didn't even get to say nothing. You told me you got your eyes on something else.
Okay, give us your best line, Common.
Yo, she is a princess, she a queen, and I just want to be able to explore and learn everything she needs so I can give her everything she wants as a princess.
But Tiffany wasn't really checking for him and dismissed any interest that he had in her until they shot a movie together in 2019. She was the lead in the film The Kitchen, while Common played her love interest. And you know what they say. If the chemistry is good on camera, then it's even better when no one's looking. I mean, Common really put in work to get Tiffany. He was buying flowers, taking her on dates, really giving her all of the signs that he was serious and looking to settle down.
Woman, a queen, and just a beautiful person, man. I just care for her a lot, enjoy her, and am grateful to have her in my life. So yeah, I'm happy.
But when they finally became an item, Tiffany was very excited and happy about the relationship. You could tell, you could see it all over her face. She felt like she had finally found the one. But what she didn't know was that Common was using all that therapy speech he knew to really get her to trust and depend on him. I mean, he had helped. Shave her head, gave her feedback on her jokes, and communicated with her whenever they had an issue. Common was the first celebrity she had ever messed with, and she often said that the relationship was the healthiest she had ever been in. And honestly, Common also looked really happy with the way things were going.
She is a really incredible human being, and the more I get to know her, I just see how dynamic she is as a person, how intelligent, how how selfless.
Enthralled with the relationship that she said she was open to a proposal from him that he should pop the question by gifting her an apartment. She was ready to settle down, and from the things that Common had to say to and about her whenever he went on interviews, Tiffany thought they were on the same page about that.
He was just persistent. He was persistent. Like, I love his art, but he wasn't necessarily, not necessarily all the way my type, but he grew on me.
He grew on you? Okay.
He showed me himself. Even if he can't tell if something is a joke or not, he asks.
He'll just be like, are you kidding?
Are you serious? I can't tell. Let me know. Like, and we have like real conversations about things, and I don't feel like, you know how sometimes you be in a relationship with a dude and you're like afraid to talk to him about a certain thing because you don't know how is he gonna blow up and start screaming and yelling, or is he gonna think you're doing something you ain't got no business, when it's like a genuine concern for you. But with him, like, I'll bring up something that's a genuine concern for me, and he's like, all right, let's pause. Let me think about that for a second. Then he expresses how he...
But come on. He evolved out of the relationship and gave the typical excuse of busy schedules and all of that, claiming the breakup was
Understanding that, and we came to the understanding, it was a mutual thing, essentially, that we came to the understanding that, like, this is what's gonna be best, like, for us to still continue to love each other and be there for each other, is to not be in a romantic relationship, because...
But Tiffany wasn't having any of that and basically said he was lying, because there was nothing mutual about their breakup. Tiffany was sitting at home, thinking of her man and waiting for that rock, when he called and said he was done and then ran to the media to act like he was some stand-up guy. She also added that it was more him saying, I think the relationship has run its course, and she was like, okay. Like, you're going to be a 50-year-old single man. Okay. There were no warning signs that he was unhappy or wanted out of the relationship. He didn't say anything, but he could have at least given her the courtesy of meeting up in person, to say he wanted out. Tiffany felt that he started backing away after she said she wanted to adopt children, but Common never told her that was something he didn't want. Common also didn't tell her he was going to take the breakup to the press. She had to find out when her publicist reached out and asked what was going on. He ended up telling the press a completely different story from what he had said to her, and that definitely rubbed our girl the wrong way. But this is a movie we've seen before. Common is afraid of commitment. Common has dated some of the most popular women in the industry, Erykah Badu. Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Angela Rye, and all of the relationships crashed and burned right when they started getting serious. Common always dips out on his women when they're about ready to settle. And yeah, even Common accepts that he has a problem.
But to be honest, the pattern I found myself in and what was called love addiction, who my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that.
That once the initial fireworks were over in his previous relationships, he would just dip. Common also specified that he was addicted to love, not intercourse, and that he was usually solely obsessed with the pursuit and early stages of a relationship. Eventually, he would get bored and drop everything. It's honestly a miracle that he's still going at it with Jennifer Hudson.
Respect to all the women I've dated, you know, because it's all love, but this is a really healthy and beautiful relationship, bro. And like, I'm just doing my best to keep God first and communicating, taking all the stuff I've learned as a human being, the failures I've had in relationships, on my responsibility. I'm taking that, learning from that, growing from it, using all the therapy, all the you know, understanding that, man, let me enjoy moments, and also, this life is about creating happiness and creating joy and creating love and like embracing the grace that exists. So this is somebody, you know, and it's something, man. I mean, if I'm going to get married, it's to her.
Wow.
That's simple as that.
And I see Pete Rock smiling every time you talk about her. He's smiling like he might know something that we don't know.
No, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I just like it. I like to see them. You know what I'm saying? Together, it makes me feel.
And this has put Tiffany all the way in her feelings. Right from the start, Tiffany had that little voice in her head telling her not to go through with it, that Common wasn't the right man for her. but the way he love-bombed and pursued her, she pushed her intuition to the side. Now people are saying he's trying to string Jennifer along, telling her she's the best thing that ever happened to him, and that he's ready to settle down. These were the same things he was saying to Tiffany to get her to trust him. Tiffany even shaded Common with cryptic posts about men settling down when they're already nursing home candidates. And it looks like Common really is going to be one of those men who marries just to get an in-house nurse, because he said himself that he only likes the experience and feeling of being in love, without actually putting in the work for commitment. Trust me when I tell you, the internet believes this ship is doomed to sink. Let's hope J. Hud has a vest and lifeboat. His name is Common for a reason because it's common for him to move from an ex to the next. Common is like the male version of Jennifer Lopez. Always has to be in a relationship and can never be single. Think he only kept pursuing Tiffany because she rejected him, and his ego couldn't take that. Once he got her, it wasn't exciting anymore. But what do y'all think about the way Common treated Tiffany? And be honest, do you think he's really going to settle down with Jennifer Hudson? Sound off in the comments, make sure you like and subscribe, and baby, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies. Common is one of the most notorious bachelors in the industry who enjoys messing around with successful and powerful women. Wendy Williams gave Tiffany Haddish a piece of advice, and she soon learned this the hard way. Common finds it difficult to commit to a relationship for the long term. He uses and dumps women when he gets tired of them. But why does Common find it difficult to commit to a woman rather than use them as placeholders? Common has been involved in several high-profile relationships. His reputation for being addicted to successful and powerful women precedes him, with hints of marriage often surfacing, only to fade away just as quickly as they came. He has a long list of conquests of successful women, which he uses as placeholders because he finds it difficult to hold down a happy, healthy, and long-term relationship. Common only enjoys using them as placeholders. For those who don't know, Common has been linked to several successful women such as Serena Williams, Angela Rye, Erykah Badu, Tiffany Haddish, and Taraji P. Henson. However, his relationship with these women has always followed the same pattern, moving from flower to flower like a bee. Common's conquest started with rapper Kim Jones in the late 90s. While Jones kept the relationship private, they had a child together in 1997. However, their complicated split made co-parenting their child difficult. Common quickly moved on to his next flower, artist Erykah Badu. They worked together several times during their relationship with various musical collaborations. But Badu eventually gave Common a taste of his own medicine. In his words, Common said, "She handed it to me. I was in my hotel room on tour and she called me and was like, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more. I'm liking somebody else." Common later confessed that Badu was his first love and first heartbreak. Of all his conquests, Taraji P. Henson was the ex-girlfriend Common's mother loved the most. Common and Taraji's relationship was rarely played out in public, and she labeled it her last real long-term relationship. However, the relationship ended just as quickly as it started. Taraji revealed that her son, who was around 11 when she and Common broke up, felt sad afterward. Between 2007 and 2010, Common had an affair with Serena Williams that was kept under wraps while it lasted. However, in 2014, he described his relationships with Williams and Badu as the most serious he had as an adult, admitting that he could have married either of these women. Common's relationship with Angela Rye, between 2017 and 2018, with a brief comeback in 2019, also ended as quickly as it started. Perhaps the only difference between this relationship and the others was that they wanted different things. While Angela wanted kids, Common did not. This eventually led to the inevitable breakup of their relationship. His most recent ex, Tiffany Haddish, began an affair in 2019 when they co-starred in The Kitchen, eventually evolving into a romantic involvement that officially commenced in 2020 after connecting on Bumble. Tiffany described their relationship as hands down the best relationship I've ever been in, knock on wood. She described herself as way happier, and further said, "It's like knowing I got somebody that cares about me, that really has my back. It seems like he does anyways, and I love it. I love him. I've lost 20 libs since I've been in this relationship. I feel more confident in me, and it's not him that's doing it." Common openly admired Tiffany during their time together, referring to her as a wonderful woman, a queen, and just a beautiful person. In September 2021, Tiffany even playfully shared her idea